Hey guys, it's Sasha with Rice and Raw, and for this video I wanted to discuss my journey as a high-carb vegan, how I've lost the weight, how I've gained weight, just give a brief synopsis of all that, and then I want to bring you at the end of the video a physique update and an update on what I'm eating, what I'm doing, and my plans for the future. So if you guys have been following me for a while, you'd know that in the past, before I started being vegan, I had some issues with food. So I had an eating disorder. I had disordered eating for a while before that. And I had a very just unhealthy relationship with food and with myself. So when I found veganism, it was really something that I felt like was going to change the way that I had a relationship with food. And then I realized it also changed the way that I viewed myself. And I started to love myself because I was taking care of myself. And at the time, which was in 2012, that's when Freely and Durin Rider were raw vegans. Everyone was raw vegan. Woodstock Fruit Fest was, in full force. If you ate cooked food, you were the devil. I remember Chris Randall, I'll never forget, he ate a cooked potato on screen on YouTube, and I don't know, if he got a lot of hate for it, but it was like, oh my gosh, someone raw eating cooked? And it was just like, oh my goodness. But at that time, Freely and Durin Rider were also starting to eat more raw. And so when I first started watching them, they were totally raw. Cooked food was the devil, right? So I was trying to transition. And of course, I had a very bad relationship with food. I was eating whatever, meat, dairy, all that crap. So I just wanted to jump right into it, and I was like, I'm going to be fully raw. And I was fully raw for 2 weeks, but I was eating 1,200 calories, which is a terrible idea to do if you're trying to eat fully raw. Don't do it. Learn from me. Just learn from me and don't do it, okay? I have some videos where I talk about that more in depth. I'll post them below. But I wasn't eating enough food, and then I binged out the next 2 weeks on the worst food ever, vending machine stuff. I went down to the the corner store, and I would just get a whole bunch of disgusting, gross, unhealthy food that I was planning to eat in one sitting. I would hide this from people. I'd go out at night, bring a backpack, and literally just keep putting money into the vending machine and putting all these candy bars and chips into my bag, which I would then go back to my dorm and just eat all in one sitting. I mean, it was very, very unhealthy, but I can see why it happened, because I was starving myself for so long. I had it was like a mental disease, really. So it is hard to break, and I totally get that. So that really threw me for a loop, but at the same time, I was like, you know what, this still really resonates with me. This whole idea of being vegan makes sense, and maybe I can't be raw, right now. Raw till 4 didn't even exist. So then I was like, you know what, I'm going to do a raw breakfast and then cooked lunch and cooked dinner, and then I'll ease into being fully raw. So my goal back then was still to be fully raw. I have not had a fully raw day since I tried being fully raw in 2012. So obviously I've never achieved it, nor do I really want to. If you guys are fully raw, that's great. Power to you. It's just personally not what I want to do at this point in my life. So I gained a lot of weight, and then after I started trying to eat properly, I was eating about 2,000 calories, and yet I still was gaining weight. And I wasn't working out during this time because I didn't want to kind of disrupt everything. I wanted just to take things one little step at a time. And I felt like if I started working out, I might just psych myself out or overthink it and confuse myself. So that was like a personal choice for me. And so I ended up gaining a lot of weight. I definitely hit my highest weight. I would say it was 140 because that's what I saw on the scale, but I'm pretty sure it went up since then because I stopped weighing myself at that point, and I was like, fuck this. And I even have videos on my YouTube where I was at that weight, and I'm like kind of complaining to the camera, not complaining, but just talking about my feelings and experiences to the camera, never thinking I was going to share it. And I couldn't even fit into my spandex leggings at the time, and it was very difficult for me, but I still had that hope and pretty assured hope that I was going to lose the weight and be healthier one day. So it took me about, I would say, 10 months since really trying to take care of myself and eat better. Just to lose 30 pounds. And, you know, like I said, I gained a little bit of weight in the beginning, but then it started to drop off within like 2 months of like really eating properly. And then I lost 30 pounds, like I would say pretty quickly. That's in retrospect, of course. It always seems quicker in retrospect. But at the same time, I wasn't happy with my body. I was, as you say, skinny fat. I had no muscle. So I still don't consider that healthy, because although I could look cute in some clothes, I knew that I wasn't as healthy as I could be. And I couldn't even pick up like a 40-pound box of bananas for like a very long time. And I know people are like, why are you picking up 40 boxes of bananas? That's what high-carb vegans do. We just buy 40-pound boxes of bananas. So for me, that was like a big challenge, and I had to take out bananas before I could pick up the box. Now that's just so comical to me because that's baby weight now. So I wasn't working out until, so my boyfriend, he's really into lifting, and he wanted me to get into it as well, of course, you know, have those little cute gym dates and all that, be swole mates. I joined Planet Fitness, and I wasn't really super into it, but I did want to kind of like make him happy, and I did some squats in the Smith machine, and I liked it. I liked adding the weight, and that's what I realized. I liked working up to certain weights. That was something I found really fun, but I didn't really fall in love with weightlifting just yet. And I was also pole dancing, which was really more my love at the time, still my love to this day. So there's a studio in my town, and they offer pole dancing. And before people who are just tuning in and are like, pole dancer, what a like slutty whore. Really, like, pole dancing is such a strength intensive sport. It's like silks, it's like lira, only it's a pole. It doesn't matter if there's some taboo attached to it. It is a fitness thing. And you know what, even if there's a taboo attached to it, there's nothing wrong at all with people who decide to do that as a job. Not at all. As a job as instructors or like professional pole dancers, or as a job if they are a adult entertainer. There's a demand for it. So do you blame the person supplying the demand, or do you blame the demanders? Anyway, I've always wondered that. But we just blame the women. So, but anyway, pole dancing is an amazing sport. I see a lot of women especially find themselves and find like this female sexual energy about it, and they're not like embarrassed of it anymore, which I think is really special. And then also you're building up so much strength. So anyway, love pole dancing. It's a great sport. Izzy Davis is actually a high carb vegan who took up pole dancing. I'd like to say I inspired her a little bit, but she is so amazing. She was already like a gymnast or dancer in the past, and she's really good. She has a lot of videos, so I'll post a link to her channel to check that out. So I started pole dancing, and I already pole danced in high school. Like I tried to teach myself at home, so I already knew how to do inversions and all of that. So I was a little bit ahead of the learning curve, but at the same time, I learned so much, and I learned that I was doing things incorrectly. So honestly, going to a studio, it was really helpful for me, and I progressed really quickly through the certain levels that you need to, achieve. And I have this amazing instructor, Carrie. I love you. You're so amazing. I wish that what happened was the studio closed, and it's so unfortunate because my instructor was just absolutely amazing. Just put in so much time into choreography and just being there for her students. But the studio ended up closing down. It's a really tough business because you kind of have to re-educate people that pole dancing is not, the devil's entertainment. It's actually really fun and really empowering, and a great strength exercise as well. I did get into lifting a bit more about 6 months before the studio closed, because I wanted to put on more muscle and become stronger for pole dancing, because there are some crazy moves that are like, how do people do this? You have to be so strong. It's like calisthenics meets circus meets dance. That's really what it is. So I started getting a little bit into lifting at the time, and then when my studio closed, I was like, okay, I have to find something else to do, lifting. And I joined LA Fitness, and I got really into lifting. I started going more religiously once a week, and then once 2014 came around, or 2015 came around, it was like twice a week, and losing years. It really became my new baby since, you know, like pole dancing was kind of taken away from me. I do still have a pole in my home, but I don't dedicate that time that I need to it. But going to the gym has been so helpful for me. And I do a lot of squats and deadlifts. Those are my two things that I do. So there are 2 days at the gym that I mostly focus on. I don't usually do any other body parts. I usually do legs and glutes days. But with like deadlifts especially, that is a compound movement. So you're gonna be working other things like your arms and your back. And for squats, you're also working other things like your back as well. So I don't do a lot of other like upper body workouts. If I do, it's maybe once a month. I kind of would love to make that more frequent. That's definitely a goal of mine that I'm trying to incorporate more of that. But my squat days and deadlift days are like my go-to. What I usually do is I start off with either squats or deadlifts, and then I go into more accessory movements, more glute focused, because my legs build up really quickly. And also if you start lifting really heavy with squats, and I'm talking like 200 pounds, you may not have a good balance between your quads, your hamstrings, and your glutes. And your glutes kind of like blend into it all. And I'm kind of looking for a different silhouette than that, I guess you could say. So I like to focus a lot on just glute exercises. I do a lot of abductors, a lot of cable kickbacks, bridges, like hip thruster bridges are key. They're so helpful. What else do? I do like glute machines. I don't really like lunges. Lunges kind of mess with my knees, so I avoid them. I don't really do leg press just because, again, it's very leg intensive. But for squats and deadlifts, I've been seeing a lot of strength gains recently. Since I've been adding protein powder into my smoothies in the morning, I've been trying to figure out if that like really helps or not. And I took a break from protein powder for a couple months, and then I went back on it, and I saw a really, not that big of a difference, but a noticeable difference for me. So I've been having a little bit more protein in my smoothies. Since November of 2015, I started doing bulking, like vegan bulking. It was junk food vegan bulking. I'm talking like Oreos, like anything I can just get in. So that was that's what I was trying to do. And then I gained a lot of weight. I gained about 10 pounds. So then a couple weeks ago, I decided that I wanted to do more of a lean bulk, and that would be more focusing on getting enough vegetables, getting different types of grains, getting fat from other sources other than oil, less processed foods. So that's been really helpful. So I'm actually much happier with the lean bulk. I have more of an understanding of my body. I am more in tune with everything that's going on, instead of eating just junk food and feeling fatted out at the end of the day and being like, oh, this is terrible. So I've gained about 2 pounds since. So I've gained about 12 pounds. I weighed in this morning at 112. So I'm really happy with everything. I'm definitely have a little bit more fat on me. I don't really think it's necessarily a bad thing. I might have been a little too thin for my personal liking at 100 pounds. So being at 112, I'm happy with. The only thing is my stomach is like a little, like not, I feel like it hasn't caught up to my body yet. So my stomach is just kind of like there. And it used to be like washboard abs. So when I wake up in the morning, it's just like cute. And I'm not too concerned with it because obviously I'm bulking. And even so, like it's not the end of the world. I'm happy with everything else. I want to give you guys a quick physique update since my body's changed quite a bit. Since November probably would be when I really started to change my physique. This is so weird. This is like really weird for me to do. But I'm really proud of my accomplishments. Like I have, I have my bare feet on, my awesome bare feet I got from England, Sainsbury's. They're like the kids section. But I'm really happy with everything that's been going on with my body. I'm liking having more weight on me. And then again, as I was talking about, the only thing is really the stomach, which is not as caught up. I mean, I can make it look really good if I'm like really trying, but it's just more plain and simple. I'm used to being a bit more like ripped up, but of course, what can I expect when I'm bulking? So I'm really happy with my back, especially from deadlifts. I have a lot of muscle back here, which I'm really happy about. and my legs, I feel like are in a good proportion with my glutes. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm someone who, although I care a lot about the physique of lifting, I'm like just really obsessed with like trying to put on more weight. I really do have strength goals, and I find that like I just find it so much fun to work up towards that. And I hit a PR the other day in deadlifting. I deadlifted 175, and I hit that PR after I was like repping at 165, which was my previous PR. So I'm pretty happy with that. So that means that I can just go straight into repping at 175 now, which is my goal for the next time I deadlift. And then for squats, I'm squatting at 165, but I can only do that for like 3 or so reps at this point. But I'm really happy with that too. My goal for both is 185 pounds. I don't really know what I'm gonna do from that point. I think I'll probably try to just sustain it. But yeah, I'm really happy. Lifting for women and men too, but lifting for women is like so helpful. And what I found through lifting is like this, really just like this empowerment. I feel very strong, I feel very capable, I feel very independent as well. I don't feel like I need a man to pick up something for me. I can go do it myself. I don't feel like, you know, my whole life as a woman, I kind of felt like maybe a little inferior to men, especially strength-wise. I'm keeping up with the guys now. Like, like I'm keeping up with like even my boyfriend. He lost a little bit of weight. He's been working really hard, really more focused on his job. And so he lost a little bit of strength too, and he took off some time from the gym. The other day we were deadlifting, and we were deadlifting about the same weight. I mean, he did 185, I was doing 175, so I'm pretty proud of that, honestly. And I like keeping up with the guys in the gym. And you know, I love seeing girls at the gym. I see girls at the gym and they just kill it. And I'm like, you're awesome. And you know, sometimes you can just tell like you and that girl, we're like the only girls at the gym, so we're like kind of friends, although we don't talk, we just kind of smile at each other. So I get a lot of requests for doing lifting videos in my gym. So my gym does not allow filming, but people do it anyway. You just need to be respectful about it. So I want to start filming more of my lifting videos, especially now that I feel much more confident and comfortable with the gym. I feel like I own the gym, you know, like I feel more comfortable doing that. Because before, when I first started lifting, as I've mentioned in past videos, I was just embarrassed. Like I was like, oh my God, like I can't make eye contact with anyone. I'm like so nervous, everyone's watching me. Am I doing the right form? Am I lifting too little? And now I'm just like, I don't care, like, you can look at me all you want. I'm focusing on my workouts. Lifting has become a really big part of my life. Love it. Love what it's done to my body, love what it's done to my confidence and my health. I feel better, I look better, I'm stronger, I'm happier. So I know a lot of people are pushing cycling. Cycling's great, a lot of people are getting into it. We obviously have amazing results like Freely and Dern Rider and High Carb Hannah's cycling now. Everyone's cycling, and that's great. I'm just a lifter. I'm more into lifting. You can definitely still be lean and healthy on a vegan diet and lift twice a week. So expect some more workout videos from me, and I will see you guys later. Bye.